For as long as I could remember, conversations have always been a way to transfer wisdom, whether it's generationally, whether it's from your peers, or even your loved ones. Conversations is the way that I see us moving the needle forward with textured hair care. It's our sacred space to share all the nuances and explore the multiverse of textured hair. This is Hair Talk with Shamilia B.
Alright guys, welcome back to Hair Talk with Shamilia B. So happy to have you guys back for our next episode. And today we have the amazing Kay Kristen. What do you prefer me to call it? Because I call you Kiki, so what should I call you?
Okay.
Okay. So today we're sitting and again we're exploring hair from the perspective of education and just the evolution of who is the person sitting behind your chair. So okay, I like to start each episode with figuring out like your ethnic mix up. So what is your mom mixed with and what is your dad mixed with?
Okay, so my mom is Bahamian. My dad is Puerto Rican Italian. So that is just my ethnicity and just the whole.
What does those textures look like? What is your mom Bahamian mom texture?
My mom's texture is probably, I would say, like a 4B
Okay.
or whatever. And then on my dad's side, it's probably like a 4A type of situation. Like
so
more
close.
yeah.
Yeah.
More or less.
How much siblings do you have?
On my mom's side, I have 3. I have an older brother and a younger sister. On my dad's side, I also have 3. I have a oldest brother and a younger brother.
Okay. And tell me everybody's hair texture. How does it look?
Okay, so I would say, can I pull up the hair textures? So I can get this
We can
accurate.
estimate because you don't have to be. So describe it for me. So we know that 1 is straight, 2 is wave. Well, 2 is like wavy, 3 is like curly, and then 4 is like coily, which is more like
Okay.
closer to the tightest texture.
So I would say my mom's hair is probably like a 3,
Okay.
3B. My sister's hair is like a little bit more coilier.
Okay.
Because she's not really mixed with the Puerto Rican. So her
Okay.
dad is full Bahamian.
Okay.
Bahamian. So hers is like a little bit more coilier, tighter
Okay.
curl. My brother's hair is kind of loose,
Okay.
loose curls. So I would say probably like still a 3.
Yeah.
Like very loose. My dad's hair is probably really wavy, so I'd say like a 2 if he lets it grow out. And then my little brother, he has the same hair texture as me, which I would say probably like, I would say like a 3B.
Okay.
3B.
So definitely in that household, were you guys all using the same products growing up, or did you guys specify? Because I know in my household, between me and my 2 other sisters, because I grew up with, was 3 of us. We have 3 different hair textures, but my mom used the same products on all of us. Because she was like, listen, I buy the big bottles of everything, and that is what I used. What was your experience?
My brother, of course, he's like 2 years older than me. So she grew his hair out till like he was probably like 4 or 5 years old.
Okay.
So when I came along, I was probably like 2 when she started like really using products. So we use kind of the similar hair products like grease.
Yeah.
Grease is the number 1 thing we always use. We didn't use no Cantu, no leave-in conditioners, none of that. Grease and water. What is the grease called? Blue Magic?
Blue Magic.
Blue Magic. That's what she is. Grease and oils.
Okay, so, and your sister?
My sister, we're 7 years apart. So by the time she started doing her hair, she had stopped doing my hair. So I had totally started doing my own hair myself. So then I started leave-in conditions
Okay.
and stuff. Totally veered away from grease.
Okay.
That grease mustard is killing me. Okay? Grease mustard is killing me. Couldn't do it.
So, okay, progression. So, mom did your hair, was using grease. What was the hairstyles like back then?
The 2 little pigtails, puffy. She never did my hair to show my real texture of hair. Let's start there. So you know, like when you wet your hair,
Yeah.
you can actually see the curl.
Yeah.
I never had like curly hairstyles like that. It was
Yeah.
always blow dry
Right.
or plaiting it up,
Yeah.
or twisting it up, but like after a blow dry. So she used to do like little puffy ponytails with the knockers or like some braids and some poofiness. So I never really wore my real hair
Yeah.
texture,
Yeah.
my hair texture, basically.
And then you're into junior and high school now. What are you doing? What are you playing with in terms of the hair?
So when I went to middle school and high school, I started being around more people who like, I went to school in Broward, so I primarily went to a more Caucasian school. So when I started going to school in Dade County, I started being around a lot of mixed people, and I started seeing how the Spanish girls wear their hair curly, and you know, like how they're straightening their hair. So
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to start doing my own hair.
Yeah.
So I started using leave-in conditioning so I can actually see my
Curl
texture
pattern.
and my curl pattern. And I shortly found out, probably after the first like 3-4 weeks of trying to wear my real natural hair without just putting anything other than leave-in condition, that I could not do that with my hair, because my hair absorbs the humidity outside.
Yeah.
So I'll leave the house with a nice wash and go, and as soon as I'm outside for 5 seconds, I look like a troll. Like my hair, you don't see not one curl pattern, no nothing. You just see, look like I got electrocuted. Like, it just did not work out. It did not work out. Like,
So what did you go into next? What did you progress into?
I started wearing weave, because then I never wore weave in my hair until probably like late middle school.
And this was sewing?
No, so I started off with braids,
Okay.
like just braids or whatever. So that was like just my protective hairstyle that I would just wear like consistently. Like as soon as I take it out, I'm putting some back in.
Were you moisturizing or doing anything in between?
I was probably putting like oils on my scalp as I had the protective hairstyles. When I would take it out for probably like a day or two, just put my hair in that puff and go, because I felt like the puff just was always like a go-to, because my hair was going to end up looking like that anyway. So I should have just embraced it. And that's what I did. And then, then when I got into high school,
Right.
I still wore protective hairstyles for probably like the first 2 years of high school, which were the braids and like twists had came out. And then my mom, she was like, hey, let me, get you some weave, some bundles.
Okay, let me get you together.
As somebody who didn't know nothing about how to take care of weave and bundles, it was a rat's nest on my head. Okay,
What did you do or not do?
Okay, so I didn't get a traditional sewing,
Okay.
where it's like where they sew it in and you have like that one piece out in the front or whatever. My mom thought it was a great idea to get a versatile sewing. So basically, like, 70% of your hair is out, 30% is some bundles. With the textured hair I have mixed with them straight bundles, it wasn't gonna work. Because at that point, I knew how to flat iron my hair. I used to always sell my mom's hot tools, so I was very good with hot tools. It's just that, like, I was natural, so I didn't really want to put heat on my hair. So I just felt like, maybe if I just blow dry it all together to go, didn't work. And then on top of that, I was a student athlete. So it was just a rat's nest. It's a rat's nest.
Okay, so then you got into wigs. How did you transition? Because pre-going to hair school, you were already having your own business happening. So tell me, how did you get into doing hair for others?
So I always dipped and dabbed in hair or whatever when I was younger. I used to steal my mom's hot tools and stuff, and my mom always wore weave.
Okay.
It's just she didn't let her kids wear it so young.
Gotcha.
So I used to practice on her, like, bundles or whatever, which kind of gave me the practice for the hot tools, but I didn't necessarily know really about weave until I left to go to college. So even in high school, like, after that one sewing, I had got like traditional sewings and I was good, but I didn't start wearing wigs until college,
Okay.
which was around 2018 or so. Went to Tallahassee for college. Shout out Seminoles. But it came to a point where I didn't live on campus, and I was responsible for all my finances as a regular college student. And then you meet all these people from everywhere. You meet people from Atlanta and who knows about these things. So I made friends with this girl who's from Georgia, and she knew a lot about wigs. She actually was making wigs at the time, like from her apartment.
Yeah.
So as I continued to hang out with her, I kind of like watched her how she made the wigs or whatever. And I was like, maybe I could get into that. Like, I like doing hair because even though she would make the wigs, she would have me style for her because I was so good with hot tools. So after that, like, I was like, you know what? Like, I really want to get a wig, but like, they're trying to charge $400 for a wig. Like, what can I do? So I started off with cheap hair store bundles. Not like the $20, you know, Kankalon bundles. Like, I bought like at least like, what is it? Organic or something of that sort, and I just constructed a wig from a wig cap. All I had was one of those heads. Put the wig cap on there with a thread, and I hand sewed a wig together. And then after that, I was like, oh my gosh, like this changed my life.
Yeah.
Like, and I learned off YouTube.
Yeah.
I learned watching her a little bit, but then I learned majority of it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So then after that, I started rocking my own wigs, and my friends who I had at the time, they were like, oh my gosh, like, can you make me a wig, and can you do that? So then I started seeing, like, okay, the need for people around me that want to buy this hair and wants to get involved. So I'm like, let me just make like a few wigs and see if like they sell or whatever. So I made probably like 3-4 wigs in my apartment, and then, you know, like, I just told people like, hey, I'm selling this wig off of here, right? I didn't charge a lot of money because I knew that the wigs that I was making could possibly not be 100% human hair. Because I was buying these bundles from the hair store.
Right. So they were probably like half synthetic, blended.
Yeah, they were like, what, $85 wigs. Okay. So once people started buying them, I was like, oh yeah, like, I can get into it. So I was first making wigs, custom wigs. And I was like, you know what, like, let me learn how to install these wigs. At the time, I had a friend who I went to high school with, who used to teach me about hair in high school, but she moved to Atlanta. She was actually doing hair.
Okay.
So she knew how to install wigs and do braids and stuff like that. So she kind of taught me how to install the wigs. And I took what she taught me and I applied it to, you know, the people I was around in Tallahassee. I was not a very good braider, so braiding was always like my weakness.
It's like a completely different skill.
It's a completely different skill, but you have to learn how to do it if you're gonna be a star.
Sure.
At least the basics. How to do a cornrow. Don't have to be tight, but as long as it's flat, is the key. And then after she taught me, and I started doing it, as time got by, I started seeing like my evolution of like doing the wigs and installing them. They got better with time, like every install, like, because then you realize what products works for the install. How can you do it like effortlessly? How can you cut the time? Because everything is about money. So after that, more practice came in, and then more people started coming in, because in Tallahassee, it's a college town, so when you're doing hair or whatever, especially when you're up and coming and you're giving out these cheap prices, like, hey, I'm doing $50 wig install. Listen, out of 3 campuses you have around you, TCC, FSU, FAMU, somebody out of 3 campuses is going to grab that deal because they got the $50. They don't got $120 for the professional wig installs, but somebody's going to pay you that $50. And then fortunately, I was a part of a few promotion groups with a lot more girls, so I could have branded myself to like a vast amount of students. So yeah, and then from there, I just kept going, and then I had family in Atlanta. I was branding myself up there, so then I was grabbing clients from Atlanta. And of course, I'm from Miami, so when I decided, like, hey, I was done with school, because at some point during my schooling, I started making more money doing hair versus going to school. So I made the decision to just leave school and just really focus on hair. When I moved back down here to Miami, it was kind of rough for me because I didn't start off in Miami doing hair.
So you have to build a whole new client.
I have to build a whole new clientele. People knew me in Miami, but they didn't know me for doing hair.
Correct.
So it was rough for me when I first came down here because, like, I'm sitting here, like, trying to text people, like, yeah, I'm doing hair today. Like, you want to get your hair done? And then, of course, they see the Instagram, they see my portfolio or whatever, but they're still not grabbing. So then probably like within like the first month or two, I didn't really have too many clients. And then I got a job at AT&T at a call center. And then it's like clients started coming out over because then now I'm meeting more people. And then I just shifted from job to job. And then the more people I met, like in the career I was working in, the more clients I would get because now I'm meeting more people. And, you know, it kind of works out for the better.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us. Oh my gosh. So you're doing hair, you're making money, up and coming clientele. What made you decide to go into hair school?
What made me decide that I wanted to go to hair school is because, like I said, I have textured hair, and me personally, I don't know how to take care of my hair.
Mm-hmm.
I was never taught properly, like, hey, these are the products that you need to use for your hair, and to make it, you know, look the way that I envision it in my mind all the time. So I was like, if I'm doing other people's hair, and the hair that I'm doing is just with wigs, I'm working with extensions, so I really don't have to educate anybody on how to really take care of them, other than don't do this, don't do that, and then XYZ.
Yeah.
I'm like, I could just imagine as like my client, and they're really curious about their hair, and they're like, hey, like, do you know people with my hair type? Like, how could I take care of my hair under my wig? And then I would just go blank, like, I don't know, use some water. Use a water and a brush, and, you know, maybe some edge control every now and then, you know, slick the baby hair. I didn't really have an answer for them because I didn't have an answer for myself.
Yeah.
So then I was like, you know what, like, I want to learn more about hair so that I can educate other people on how to do their hair, whether they're getting a wig service. I can at least look at their hair and be like, hey, like, are you interested in like growing your hair? This is what you can do for your hair. Like, just give me a little bit more background, as well as teach myself as I'm going along with this process in school. Like, how can I better take care of my hair and get a better understanding? And then on top of that, like, I'm doing hair now, so of course I need a license. So gotta go to school for that.
There you go. So, what was your expectations of going into beauty school? And then I want you to tell me your experience. So, what was your expectations before you went in? What did you think it was going to be? What do you think you was going to learn?
My expectations was honestly to just really learn about like how to cut hair. I thought like just like simple stuff where you think of beauty school, like, oh yeah, they're gonna teach me how to cut hair, color hair, and, you know, just the foundational stuff, and then, you know, I'm done. So my experience so far, it has been a good experience. I'm definitely learning that it's just more than just, you know, picking up some scissors and cutting some hair. It's a lot of technical things that goes into doing hair.
Talk about it.
Your body position, the way that you hold the scissors. Oh my gosh. The elevation, the graduation, the angle. It's a lot. And then don't get me started with color, because then we're back in biology class. I haven't heard about the color wheel since like elementary school, and now I'm relearning about the color wheel, and it's like, I know about the rainbow. I know about the color wheel. I didn't know. Okay. Yeah, so it's definitely eye-opening to know that it's just more than just what's on the surface. It's really a lot of work that you got to do, and a lot of things that you have to remember, because what could work for my hair might not necessarily work for yours or for anybody else's. So you have to tweak things up depending on the person. And I never really thought like that before hair school, because I'm doing extensions. I don't really have to think about your hair too much other than braiding it down. Like, I never really thought that far into it. So it's been a great experience so far.
Nice. How do you feel about textured hair, like in terms of the curriculum? Like, what did you want to? Are you learning as much as you want to learn? Is there more of what you want to learn? What do you want in terms of textured hair education?
I really feel like there is a lack of true education for textured hair.
In what way?
In a way that, you know, like, I feel like in hair school that they teach you more about fine hair and wavy hair, but they don't really teach you like about coily hair or people who have truly textured hair, like you and I. And I feel like people don't know, like they don't know how to really take care of our hair or what will work best, other than like what products they can use to straighten it.
Basically.
Yeah, basically. Like, so I really see that there is a lack of education for that. Not a lot of people know how to take care of textured hair. And what was the question again?
What did you want to learn more about in textured hair in school? What do you want to learn more of?
I want to learn more protective styles for textured hair, other than wash and goes and leave-in conditioners that you can do, because there's a lot of things that you can do to textured hair that you can't do to fine and wavy hair. There's more than just twisting and plaiting hair as a protective hairstyle for textured hair. I would have loved to learn about how to the rods and stuff like that.
Rods.
The perm rods and stuff. And just basically like more treatments for textured hair, because I see the difference of, like a regular salon, that you can really tell that, their demographic really just dedicates to, like other hairs other than texture.
Yeah.
Versus like if I were to go to like a Dominican salon and they know how to do some textured hair, whether you want to do a wash and go, a protective style, and you can kind of see that their demographic is more textured versus others. And I feel like every salon should at least have somebody there that knows thoroughly like how to take care of the textured hair girlies, because hey, it's rough out here for us.
Okay, so let's go into that. What has been your experience when you're going to get your hair done professionally?
I had good.
Tell us the good and then tell us the not so good.
I had a horrible time one time. My experience getting my hair done, I've always been natural my entire life. So of course it's a little bit harder to straighten or get a silk press out of my hair. It's going to take a long time to do it. So my experience, I know that I'm going to be there for hours, so that's expected. I've had like this one lady, she used to do my hair for like all throughout like elementary. She used to wash, she used to steam, she used to put my hair in the curlers, put me under the dryer, take me out from under the dryer, brush it out, and then if needed, like put like a flat iron to it. But it's very rare needed. But it's hard to find people that
could do that.
Like could straighten your hair and get it silky without putting, like a hot tool on it. So that was one of like the great experience. I love her to death. I don't know where she got though, but she see that she can call me. You call me, girl.
And what was that not so good experience?
Love my Dominicans. I love you guys for life. But I've had a horrible experience at one salon where she was really trying to, blow dry my hair straight. After the whole washing process, everything was perfect until we got down to blow drying. She was blow drying my hair, and she didn't really detangle it enough after washing it to just like go in and just start blow drying. And I guess at some point she got to like the center of my hair, and she takes like she had a round brush. She takes the round brush and it's like blow drying it, and all I hear is snap. So then I'm like, okay, like is everything all right? She's like, yeah, everything's okay, mommy, like that. So I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, maybe she took like, knot out. I go home, I'm feeling where she did that little yank, and I had a patch in my head. She burned a patch of my hair off.
And she didn't say anything.
She did not say anything, and the patch was probably like this big. It was a big patch. Yeah. And it's right there in the center of your hair, so it's like, what, I'm gonna wear ponytails all day? Like, yeah, I could lay it down by like pushing my hair because it's straight. But when it's curly, you could not.
It's gonna stand up for sure.
Yeah, and then that started like my 100% natural journey. Like I probably waited probably like 6 months to like let it grow out with the rest of my hair, and I chopped all my hair off.
Yeah.
I chopped all my hair off after that.
What made you decide to chop it off? Was it that experience?
No, it was around prom time, and you know, prom is just stressful in itself. I was not having a great prom experience. Had a nice manic episode and had a Britney Spears moment and went in the bathroom and cut all my hair off the day before prom. Do
What?
not be like me.
What?
Do not be like me. Yeah.
Why did you cut all your hair off?
I was so stressed. I felt like there was nothing. I was just in the bathroom and I just saw some scissors and I was like, you know what? Like, to hell with this.
What
And
the
went like
hell?
snip. Cut all my hair off.
What did your mom do?
She was surprised. She was surprised. We were all surprised. But I had a hair appointment within hours after that.
To do what?
It was prom, so I was getting my hair done.
So you did extensions. You did a
Yeah. I had my hair done. So I didn't really have to walk around looking like that.
But okay, so prom happened. Then what? I'm curious.
Okay, prom happened, and then I took the weave I had in my hair out and got some braids, and I just let my hair grow.
Lord.
Yeah, I was not gonna be caught dead with that short fro. Y'all was not gonna catch me in these streets with that fro. I was gonna wear a bonnet if I could get my hair done. It was not gonna happen whatsoever. But then that really made me wanna, you know, like really figure out how do I take care of my real hair. Now my hair is like completely natural. Virgin hair is what we like to call it. It's completely virgin. No products, haven't been flat iron, blow dried, nothing. Just straight curls.
Yeah.
And I still didn't know what to do with it.
Right.
And then I ended up leaving shortly after to go to Tallahassee. And I didn't know no hairstylist up there at all. So now it's like, okay, I could do my hair like in ponytails. Like my hair had got long enough for me to like slick it back in a ponytail or whatever. But I still didn't know what to use on my hair to like make it curly other than like leave-in conditioner.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just stress. That's what stress do to you.
And I know that a lot of listeners can literally identify with your story because when somebody sits in my chair for the first time, it's a very similar situation. Not that they cut their hair off, but in terms of just trying to find something that works for their hair, texture and moisturizing, and then, oh my gosh, you relocated. That's a whole other. Trying to find a hairstylist is no joke.
Yeah. It was not fun at all. At all. And then the weather in Tallahassee is completely different
From
than
South
my
Florida.
yes.
Okay, what is the weather like up there?
Okay, in the summertime it's super hot. But like it's not like Miami where it's like the city and you have like, you know, everything around you. It's country. Like all year round is trees. So Miami it gets hot and humid but not really, really humid. Up there because there's so much trees, it's very humid. Like on a super hot day, it's even hotter because of all the trees, it's forest. Kind of looks like Atlanta a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's super humid. When it's rainy, it's even more humid and dewy. Like it's just
Moisture.
everywhere. Even at nighttime, it get foggy.
Yeah.
We wake up early in the
moisture
morning,
is there, yeah. Absolutely.
foggy. Which is not good for my hair at all.
Yeah.
And that's why I thank God for, you know, protective hairstyles. I thank God for protective hairstyles. Because they saved my life. They saved my life. Thank God for weave too. He created that.
I believe that conversations foster awareness, and awareness gives us the space to desire change, to desire to be transformed. A major part of that is understanding that being supported by somebody else who has been there before where you desire to go, who knows what you desire to know, or whose life's work is a reflection of what you desire to do is going to support you. Textured hair is my life's work. I have created a sacred space for learning, for transferring of the wisdom I have amassed over my career, for moving the goalpost one step forward. Textured Hair Education by Shamilia B is the home of skills, techniques, and knowledge dedicated to the care for the multiverse of textured hair. If you have a desire to learn and to take this step into deeper awareness and harness new skills, then Textured Hair Education is for you. The link is in the show notes.
Okay, so as a hairstylist now, and you're in beauty school still almost halfway through, what do you feel like is the ideal experience for your clients? Like, what do you want them to experience when they come to you?
What I always strive for them to experience is, of course, a good time, but like a relatable time. Like, I really like to conversate with all my clients. I really want to get to know like who you are, and this is like a safe place. I always want to create a safe place, like whether we can talk about what happened yesterday, 2 weeks ago, like you can just sit down, vent, relax, and just have a great time. And then, you know, probably by the time you're leaving my chair, you feel beautiful. You feel like a weight has been lifted off of you because we've talked.
Yeah.
We've gotten into it, and I feel like I want to create that because that's what I look for when I want to get my hair done.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit in somebody's chair and then just be like completely quiet the entire time and just like not really enjoy the full experiences. Of course, you know, the rituals or whatever, like, you know, doing the extra massages and stuff. Yeah, that goes a long way, but it's nothing like having an emotional connection with your client. Like, that is like number one priority. So like from the moment that I'm meeting my client, I'm making sure that I'm saying, hey, how are you today? When I'm introducing myself, I want to do a handshake because I want you to feel that like this is good energy, like you're okay here. Sitting down, talking, like, what are your concerns? What do you want to do today? Like, do you have any ideas? And picking their brain and just really building a rapport, because it really starts from the moment that you meet them. The moment that you say, hey, my name is Kay. What is your name? How are you doing today?
Absolutely.
It starts right there, and that makes everything else flow afterwards.
That's amazing. And in terms of services, so you're staying in extensions, with installations, that type of thing. You're going into cutting, are you going into coloring? What do you want to specialize in?
I've actually been racking my mind up about this.
Is it switching? Is it switching?
Yes.
Tell
You
me.
know, cutting, I was not always great at cutting because like I get scissor happy. You know, I get a little scissor happy. Coloring, we're still trying to figure out coloring. We're still trying to get the color.
She's halfway there, guys. Give us some grace.
Yeah, give me some time.
Yeah.
But what I really think that I'm really into is styling. Ultimately,
Absolutely.
I love styling hair. I love creating new curls. I love doing the butterfly braids. I love to style somebody's hair. And it's probably like my favorite part of the service is styling the hair. So I've been looking into it, and I've spoken to, you know, like a few people who says like, hey, like there are stylists who just really just style hair, like wedding events and stuff like that. So I'm really trying to teach myself now like how to do those updos and how to get more better at styling, because I just really like the whole thing of styling and creating like fun looks.
That's amazing. Yeah. Okay, so let's think about big vision. Kay has essentially become who she wants to become in the industry. She's making her money, she's working in the space that she loves, her career is designed essentially how she wants it to be. What does that look like?
Wealthy. See a lot of wealth. There's a lot of money. Hello. He's not playing. But honestly, where I see myself at like probably in the next 5 years, by the grace of God, is that like I want to elevate and I really want to become like a celebrity hairstylist. That's really like my end goal. I don't want the fame at all. I just want, you know, like just to be like the go-to, like, yeah, you know, like, have you heard of, you know, Kay or whatever? Like, you see that amazing look, like, and I want to work with big names.
Yeah. So it's like, do you want to be known for styling their wigs? So it's like, who would be your ideal client right now if you had to look in the landscape?
An ideal client
Right now, basically having the look of what you want to do. Like, Rihanna? Okay, nice. What do you like about how she wears her hair and that type of thing and where, like?
I just like the vibe and the aura she just gives everybody, honestly. Like I feel like with her hairstyles, like you can always have fun with her because she makes fun music. There's a lot of creative things that you can do with her. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, with her background, her Caribbean background, you know, we can always do some fun protective hairstyles. We can do some extensions, like like with her, it's like really nothing that you can't really do with her. I feel like she's just a great potential.
She is, because even like if we look at the progression of her hair, I remember she had come out with initially when it was like the long, and her hair was long, it was long weave and it was like brownish in color. And then when she came with Umbrella, it was like the blonde bob, and it was asymmetrical, and she got way more edgy. Then she transitioned into like, I remember the red hair. There was a period of time where she wore straight red hair, curly red hair, like it was amazing.
She did that mohawk.
Listen, she gave everybody the confidence to wear that mohawk. Listen, and everybody had these stars too.
Everybody had the stars on there. I know.
Then she started to get a little bit more like, in terms of she was wearing more browns and like more earthy. So I remember that hairstyle. And then now I see she's really much incorporating like textured hairstyles, which I am loving. Because she's like doing fun braids and just like simple hairstyles, and it's that is giving.
She always gets. You know, my number one pick would have been Beyonce, but Beyonce's in her elegant era. There's not really much
elegant era.
There's not really much styling she needs with her hair, so
she's definitely gracing us with her.
If you see this, just call your girls over here. We're ready for you at any time. Even if you're in Europe. We're ready.
Okay, so you're transitioning now. Rihanna is your client. What does your day look like in terms of you and your fitness? What are you doing?
With Rihanna?
Or Rihanna or any other client that you have, like in that elevated, highest vision that you have for yourself right now?
Of course I want to be a stylist, like do hair and style hair, but I also want to have other businesses. I don't just want to just constrict myself to that. Like, so I envision myself having like multiple hair businesses. I don't really think I'll get into hair care as of now. But I want to at least, you know, like sell hair and stuff in that way, and like get like a few brand ambassadors. Probably start like clothing too, because I like clothing. I feel like fashion and hair is hand in hand together.
They're married.
Yeah,
they're married.
It's hand in hand. So I want to definitely get into fashion too. So I feel like in a life of that person, probably, you know, waking up, you know, making sure, you know, the businesses are running slowly. Probably going down there seeing
what's popping.
Yeah, you know, you can own a business, but you gotta be there to look over it. I always remind them, hey, I'm still here. Like, don't slack. Probably check up on them. Then depending on whatever client schedule I have, me as now as a client, I really don't like taking clients in the morning. I wouldn't say that I'm not a morning person. I just feel like sometimes it's just a little bit too early to be talking. In all honesty. And I know we
I'm with you. I'm with you because I feel like the morning time, and especially in this career where we have to serve people and you have to give up the energy. My morning routine is sacred. Like, don't play with me because I need to check in with myself. I need to, connect with God. I need to hear some type of sermon. I need to like feel and be and then cultivate my energy because we literally have to wake up, get your energy this big because then to hold clients, you have to have capacity.
Yeah.
And it's like if I don't take care of me and actually get big in my energy, then my day never really goes the way I need it to go. Like just being able to give people and like there was a point where I was teaching and I'm telling you, the school was huge. So there was something like 100 and something students in the school, and I literally had to every morning think of who was going to be in my class, what is the energy that they need, what is the learning style that they need, like just think, like bring it to my conscious awareness. And then at the end of the day, I literally had to verbally send people's energy back to them and then call my energy back because it was so depleted.
Yeah.
Just exhausted. So it's like being in a client serving industry, and I know restaurant people who work in restaurants have it. I know like just service industry. If you really want to hold energy, if you really want to be there for your clients, like you literally have to protect yourself.
Yeah.
100%. So I hear that.
Yeah.
Just the mornings are sacred.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Me personally, I do not take any clients before 11:30.
Yeah.
11:30? No. Because I feel like that gives me enough time to get up, think, prepare myself for the day I'm about to have, whether I have 2-3 clients or 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I still got to mentally prepare myself for that, because when your client walks in, you feel their energy. They feel your energy. And if the energy's off and you have not prepared yourself for that, things can go left real quick. Real quick.
100%.
Yeah, and I'm like really big on people's energy. And once upon a time I used to do people's hair in the comfort of my home, and I used to feel like as soon as they left, like certain people would have like really negative energy, and I used to feel that within my home. Like it just felt so dark when she was here. Like I have to burn some sage, and that's never how you want to feel. Like you never want to feel like it just gets real touchy. So I have to really mentally prepare myself, even when I'm going to school.
Yeah.
We go to school really early.
Yeah.
And it's still not enough time to mentally prepare. But you gotta fake it till you make it.
Yeah, it's like that's definitely something that I like. Guys, understand that your hairstylist is doing a lot in terms of, especially like there was a point in my career where I decided I'm not doing more than 3 people per day. Like I do not, like rarely, unless I'm traveling to another country and I'm there for like a weekend, is when I probably push it to like 7 to 10 max, but then I always have an assistant because I just feel like serving that much people in one day is like, and I am very conscious about not transferring energy through my clients. So I want my first client and my last client to have the same neutral experience with me. So if my first service doesn't go good, I am not talking to my second client about like I don't transfer energy. So you find that by the end of the day, I would have held everybody's energy, and then I'm now starting to decompress. I feel that so deeply in my body. I started to exercise after those days. Like I take, especially if I'm traveling, I take 2-3 days after that trip when I come back to literally come back to like stasis, because it is just intense with people. I mean, just being client focused and the way I hold people and the love I have for people and the care I have for people. It's just like I genuinely am there. So when I'm with you, I'm with you, like soaking all of that up. So yes, guys, be mindful of your hairstylist. Just give them some grace. You're
You know,
hungry.
like it definitely gets draining. I was talking to you like the last time about like really taking a break because it gets overwhelming. Because sometimes I do find myself being more client based, and I'll push myself. I'll take probably like 4 or 5 clients in a day, knowing that like I really don't want to, but I'm just trying to hit that goal.
Yeah.
And then by the end of that, it's like the next day I'm like, I never want to do it again. Like, I never want to do it. I'm retiring. And I don't even have the right to say I'm retired yet. Like, I'm retired. This is too much. This is just too much.
Yeah.
But we definitely get tired because
Yeah,
it's like
you have to know capacity.
we have to be a therapist. We're customer service. Like, we're everything in that one while we're
Experience.
behind somebody's head.
Yeah.
And it gets draining because then we go through things too.
Yeah. And then I feel like this is where, and I'm so happy that we landed here. This is where I feel like people don't understand. Like, people talk about the cost or the prices for hair services. And truthfully, unless you're in the hair business, you have no idea how much goes into a service. People think it is just doing a service. One, you have to be able to analyze and to know the person's hair. You have to see where they're at and then listen to where they want to go in terms of a hair goal. And then you have to map that entire process. Am I able to do that in one step? Am I able to do that in multiple steps? Then you have to have a fluent conversation throughout this entire service. Be mindful of the time, and then you're dealing with all of the inconsistencies that we have no idea that is gonna happen. So let's say you're doing a color service on a client, and you did the strand test, and you established that you're gonna go to, let's say they wanted to go to blonde there, like a brown, but then they had box color on the hair. And it's like, you say, okay, I'm allocating 5 hours for this service, you give them the quotation, and then it's like, that hair is not lifting beyond what it was going to do. And then she forgot that on this part of her head, that's where you did the strand test, but then on this part of her head, she had done something completely different. So now you are meeting obstacles going along this path, and you have to be able to navigate this without the client even ever knowing that you're having this full experience. And it's like a service that was supposed to take you 4 or 5 hours is now taking you 9-10 hours. And you know for 100% the price that you quoted is definitely undervalued based on what you just did. But then the client now has the audacity to ask you, so can I get a discount today? Or like, for me, that is what I call dishonoring.
Yeah.
Because it's not just
fair.
about the money, it's about the value, it's about the experience, it's about the entirety of what I was just able to do for you. And the type of stylist that I am, I educate my clients every step of the way. So I tell them specifically what I am doing. So on top of you having a service, on top of us getting the goal done, on top of every aspect of me ensuring that you are kept, I'm not telling you everything. So you are leaving my chair knowing exactly how to care for your hair. Knowing the standard of, if you decide not to come back to me or you move to a different state or something, you know specifically what to look forward for, right? I am honoring you and giving you this amount of value, and then people have like the thought of, okay, well, I feel like this is too expensive.
Yeah.
Like, truthfully, the value that hairstylist gives is, you guys don't even know. You don't even know, because it's really, really a job that requires you to just keep developing in all areas of your life just to hold the service together.
Yeah. Most clients, they don't consider the time it's going to take for the service. In a perfect service, maybe 4 or 5 hours. You'll probably get out within the 5th hour. But that's if nothing arises. And you have to, as hairstylists, people are not honest about what they're doing to their hair.
Correct.
You can ask them 20 million questions. Did you put box dye in your hair? When did you get this bleach? When did you do this? And they'll give you an answer, but then their hair tells you something
Absolutely.
completely different, which extends the service. They don't think about the products,
Yeah.
how much those products cost,
Yeah.
but it's not cheap to bleach or to color hair
Yeah.
whatsoever. Then you have to take an accountability. The time it takes to style the hair, it's a lot that goes into it, all while having this full blown conversation
Yep.
for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's intense.
It's we give more than what's given to
Yeah,
us for
absolutely.
sure.
Absolutely.
Like, and that's the price. we
Yeah,
pay.
it is. And you have to love it to stay.
Yeah.
You have to love everything about this
Mhm.
to actually make a successful career out of this.
Yeah.
You have to. So you're on your way out of beauty school very soon. You're going into your business and building out that vision that we spoke about. What type of support do you feel like you need as a hairstylist? What do you see? What do you need to move to that level?
Definitely more clientele. What I plan on doing when I graduate is probably traveling to other cities and trying to grab some clientele from everywhere, because to make it to that realm that I'm trying to get into, you have to travel.
Yeah.
There's influencers, there's celebrities everywhere. They don't just stay in Miami. So you have to travel, you have to get your name out there, you have to brand. So one of my main things that I want to focus on leaving school is branding.
Yeah.
Branding, and putting my face out there more. I'm an extrovert,
As you should.
but I'm also an introvert in some cases.
Yeah.
So I'll put myself out there, but to an extent.
Yeah.
And I hold myself back, which I need to stop doing. I really need to get out there and just like, hi, my name's Kay. Do hair.
Thank you.
Look at my hair page. You know, I'm just saying. Just going over there and just, like, and then I also feel like, I have to get more consistent on social media. That's one thing that I'm always lacking on.
Yeah.
So I really want to focus on branding and my social media presence.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. How do you feel about continuing education? What do you want to take more classes in? What do you feel like you need?
I want to take a few weight classes. I want to take some haircutting classes. And that's just about it.
Yeah.
Honestly. And probably a braiding course. Because I know how to braid, but I want to be like,
You want.
A1 on braiding. So I really want to just take those 3 courses.
Yeah.
Like really an extensive lace course, braiding course, and a cutting course.
Yeah.
So that I can be able, maybe if I won't want to do hair anymore. Like I probably won't want anybody in my chair
Yeah.
after this. I really don't know yet. So maybe all I want to do is style the wig.
Yeah.
So I need to learn how to cook.
Yeah.
I need to learn how to style.
Yeah.
I need to just deep dive more.
And wig styling is a big part of it, because even in terms of like performances and just like people doing shoots and just like a huge part of our industry is in the union styling side of it. So you get your license, you apply to be a part of the union, which is essentially where hairstylists who have to work on set and like that type of thing, they go to, and much of your work is in the absence of a client. The majority of the work, once the client is in your chair, is the install.
Yeah.
Because the hair was already cut, it was already colored, it was already styled. Your finished work is just the install. You're waiting for makeup is going on as you're doing this install, and then you literally have 30 minutes to an hour to get that hair on, but it's already set, and then boom, it's lights, camera, action. So there is a path in our industry for that, for sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be just behind the chair, It really doesn't.
Because honestly, I don't envision myself doing hair long term, which is why I want to set myself up to have businesses and other sources of income, because I know I personally don't want to be behind a chair for more than 10 years now.
Absolutely, because like even for me, like when I thought about my career, a big part of mine is the progression of texture here. So I know a big part of mine would have been in conversations and like having conversations like this, or like even educating in the classroom, or just having like collective discussions. For me, that is a path in here that I don't necessarily think existed before I hit the decade in my career, you know? Because the amount of information you accumulate and you amass, and then when you start to hear stories repeating of people experiences, and then you start to hear the same type of concerns with clients in terms of what is the challenges with their hair, with products, with all of that, you're like, how are we in the same position 9 years, 8 years, 5 years after we have companies making more natural hair products than we necessarily need? We have way more hair extensions coming from China, and you telling me that we don't necessarily have a straight plan for persons who want to learn about textured hair to go through. We don't have particular products set in, like no hairstylist ever sat down and did the matrix so that a client could walk through and say, well, okay, I have this, this, and this. Okay, I'm inside. Like, what are we doing? What?
Okay.
Yeah.
They
So
don't.
for me,
They never sat down and made the blueprint.
yeah. So for me, like, I know, like, that is one of the fundamental parts of my career, and I like it's expansive in that regard. So you saying you don't want to be behind the chair for longer than 10 years is absolutely fine, because truthfully, our skill, and I always say this, is such a gift, because we get to see different iterations of that throughout your career. Like, even for me as an educator, I taught in a formal school in Trinidad. I taught for a brand of a product line. I taught for a product-based education school, and it's like, now I'm going into my own education digital platform, and it's like, that's just education in here. We're not even talking about natural hair. We're not talking about coloring. We're not talking behind the chair. We're not talking, it's huge. So just shedding light on, you know, like, this is the direction I want to go is amazing that you have that insight.
Yeah. I think about it a lot as well.
Yeah.
I really think more about the future, less about the present, because there's a bigger goal always at the end of this. There's always a bigger goal for me.
All right. So last thing, there's a kid coming out of high school. She wants to do hair. She does not know where to go, what to do. She's like, I feel like this is what I want to do. I'm not too sure. What do you tell her?
Like, she doesn't know anything.
No, like, she's starting from scratch. She knows that she wants to be in hair. She just doesn't know how to do it. She just doesn't know how to approach it. Like, what would you tell her?
I would ask further questions. Like,
What would you ask her?
what type of hair do you want to do? What are you most interested about? Because I've spoken to girls who are interested about doing hair, but they're not really talking about real hair. They're talking about, I'm interested in learning how to install a wig.
Yeah.
So you have to ask further questions, like what type of hair, and then once you figure out what exact direction they're trying to go into, whether it's with textured hair, fine hair, weaves or whatever, you kind of like give them advice like going forward. So if I were to meet a girl who said, hey, I'm interested in learning how to install wigs, I would tell her to take a wig course before I tell her to go to cosmetology school, because they're not going to teach you that in cosmetology school. You'll still need a license, but at least look at somebody who knows how to install a wig first and figure out if that's really what you want to do. If somebody were to tell me, hey, I'm interested in, like textured hair, I would recommend you go to an ethnic cosmetology school. They'll teach you more about textured hair there. If you just want to learn more about fine hair, you can go to cosmetology school still, but find a salon-based cosmetology school. So you kind of just have to tailor it to whatever she really wants to do. If she wants to learn about all of it, go to cosmetology school, and as well take lace courses, because what a lot of girls think is that, hey, I want to learn more about weed, but I'm going to go to cosmetology school. By all means, go ahead. They'll teach you how to probably color a wig. Well, they won't teach you how to color a wig, but they'll teach you how to color something.
Yeah. And you can transfer the knowledge.
And then you can transfer the knowledge to the wigs, but don't expect them to teach you how to put adhesive and you know how to tailor that lace.
Yeah.
Go to school, take some courses. You know,
Yeah.
that's honestly
Yeah.
what I would recommend.
Yeah, absolutely. My gosh, thank you so much for spending time with me here in Hair Talk. Guys, this is another episode. Of course, the conversations are ongoing. We love to talk here. Kay, thank you so much for your time.
No problem.
Guys, look out for the next episode. Bye.